everyone. Welcome to The Return with Josh and Maria Cribbs. I am Maria Cribbs.
And I am Josh Cribbs. Welcome to The Return.
Welcome to another beautiful day. Let me just go ahead and give a PSA. It's not a real PSA, but I'm just going to call it a PSA. I have family members scared to come in town because of these midgets. Are they called midgets? Midgets? What are they called, Ryan?
Midges.
Midgets. Josh, first of all, let me explain something to you.
Whoa on your pronunciations.
Midges. The midgets. Look at that photo right there. Now, Josh,
Yeah.
when
Swarm.
we first came, have you ever seen anything like this, first of all, in your life?
Before Cleveland, no.
Before Cleveland. Okay, now
No.
I live from 2 hours away down in Columbus. I have family members who they're seeing the photos and they are concerned. And I will say this, when I went to school, what is that, Rocky River, Josh? 1 year, have they ever only looked like that photo we just showed you guys, right? I personally thought it was like the end of the world. You know how they start calling for locusts and how like the signs that it's coming to end
This was one of the plagues?
I thought it was one of the plagues.
Oh.
You got to give people the heads up, Cleveland. You can't just have things flying around out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, if you're from out of town and you don't know about this and you see it and you're in it, you're checking your phone, you're looking at the news like you're running into a business. Is everything? Are we under attack? Is this it?
Right.
Like you would think that if you watch too many sci-fi movies.
Apparently they come from.
Because if you're smart enough to know, this happens a lot. And, in Midwest areas by water.
Well, I heard it was by water. And I've always, one of my dreams is to have a home that's off the water. But if that's going to be going on, then no, we can't do that.
Yeah.
They get in your car, they get in your mouth and your hair. And I'm okay with what are they, the cicadas?
Yeah,
Remember every 7 years or something like that?
Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Those midgets are so tiny. So anyway, I just want to let my family members know we're safe, we're alive. They haven't taken over. And in that photo, I haven't seen anything that bad this season.
I mean, you're not on the water though. You're not right on the water.
Ryan, are we not on the water? Can we look out the window and see the water?
I'm saying like
we are right on the water, you guys.
when we went out of the studio last week, they were all on the side of the van.
But it wasn't like that photo right there. So I'm like, where are they getting these photos? Is it fabricated? Is it real?
No, I think in some places. Yeah, I think in some places that's just how they are. Yeah, and then if you didn't see the video of them, they were showing swarms of them in the sky, and it looked like a plague. It looked like locusts.
If y'all want to see some more, go to the I Am From Cleveland Instagram.
They
it's
should make
crazy,
a
but my family members are
sci-fi
really
movie
concerned.
off
Like,
that.
what's going on up there? I can't live in Cleveland. All that be going on. I'm like, it literally takes place for like a week or two.
Yeah,
Come on up here. We got some good food. Now, Josh and I, we got some events that we're hosting, right? The Pop-Up in the Park. We do that every year. I wanted to shout them out. The MTKYN Foundation with Denzel Ward along with his mother, Nicole Ward. We're hosting.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Man, when I tell y'all the 4th annual, Sunday, August 31st. But look, they're going to have Drew Hill. They're going to have Adina Howard and Carl Thomas.
And my panties on.
Josh, that's your favorite song?
No,
T-shirt and my panties on?
I mean, that's to listen to.
You hear what he just said?
No, that's Adina Howard, right?
No, I can be a freak until the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her.
That wasn't even her main song.
That's one of her songs, though.
Was you walking around the house? What year
Before
did Adina Howard come out? You had to be in middle school. Talking about T-shirt and my panties on.
That was in the height of my,
What? In height of your what?
Yeah, puberty.
You don't even know what to say. So.
That's the height of puberty. That's when I had them Victoria's Secret magazines.
There you go.
For my sister underneath my bed. She was like, "Who's stealing me?"
Ryan said, "There you go."
Yeah, them Victoria's Secret, magazines.
That's enough for guys.
We're talking about the 90s, Ryan. We're not talking about. Would you think I could use the
guys were using Victoria's Secret magazines
back then? Yeah.
No, I thought it was a kid. The Playboy and the Hustler and all that.
Yeah, well, everybody got a Playboy and Hustler and all that. You got to go into a store that's 18 and older.
For that? Are you kidding?
You talking about a teenager?
Josh didn't have any access.
I wasn't even a teenager.
Oh my God.
I didn't have access to that. My older brother, I had to get with his hand-me-downs. I had to steal stuff from him. Yeah, that's how that went.
That's how that goes?
Yeah, come on now.
I don't know what to say. Okay, so.
Anywho.
But, No, look. I want to tell you something.
I was talking more.
About the Pop-Up in the Park?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be fabulous time. So make sure you go to their website and get the tickets. Yeah, we're going to be hosting. It's going to be great. So.
Yeah, and Drew Hill is one of my favorite groups.
It threw me off. I thought you were going to talk about Drew Hill, but you started singing T-shirt and my panties on, and it just threw me off. I wasn't expecting that from you.
They added them later as well. Drew Hill was first, then Adina, then Carl Thomas.
Right.
And I'm excited for the lineup. Like I'm going to actually stay behind for this main event. Like Drew Hill,
we stand to the end this year.
Yeah, I'll be singing all the songs.
So look, hold on. I came across this band last night on TikTok, right? It is crazy how the algorithm works because I'll see something and I'll send it to somebody, and then somebody random will send it to me, and I'm like, okay, we all in the same wavelength, right? There's this band called the Paradox Band. When I'm telling you, they claim themselves as like pop rock. But they're giving me like 90s, like early 2000 like vibes, right? And so I sent my daughter.
Yeah, I heard them.
Look, we were talking about them last night, right? And so this morning she sent me a screenshot. She was like, "Mom, you're not gonna believe this." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "They're coming to town, so they're gonna be in Lakewood." What day does that say, Ryan? Lakewood, Ohio.
June 17th.
June 17th. Josh,
it's so funny.
You trying to go rock out, baby?
They're a black band, right?
Yes.
That sing rock and roll.
Yes.
And Ryan, I thought it was a meme at first.
No, what?
Because they sing a song. It was like it was basically like one of the memes was like if they seen a good looking white girl. And
the internet always doing something goofy.
And and they broke out in singing their genre, like the genre that they thought she would like.
I wanna be just like you.
Yeah, and it was like, look at that girl. And then it was like, I wanna be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I thought it was a me. I didn't know that they were actual group.
Yeah,
I didn't know
group.
that was their actual voices.
And let me
I just thought it was a meme.
No, it's not a meme. They on there rocking out.
They
let me
are
just tell
killing
you this.
it.
A lot of this, a lot of the dates are sold out. So I'm gonna go and see what I can do. I might have to pull out No Josh Cribs card.
Oh yeah, I mean,
or I just sneak in like we did the one.
Nah, you got some fame, man.
The concert.
You need to go and look. Somebody will stop me today during our shoot with NFL Network.
Oh yeah, tell them about that.
I will in a second.
Okay.
But somebody stopped me and was like, "Oh, I love you and your wife's show." It was a I want to say she's a she's a pastor.
Oh,
she
wow.
walks and she runs and walks.
Talking about t-shirt
downtown city, downtown
us.
Cleveland.
Please forgive us. Just say
Come
a
on,
prayer.
man. God knows our heart.
God
He
knows
knows
our
our
heart.
heart,
He wasn't talking
man.
about t-shirt and those kind of panties.
Come on, man.
T-shirt,
It's just a song. Anyway,
go ahead. What?
I think people will know you.
Me?
Like, yeah, it's not about me really anymore. People be like, "Oh yeah, Cribs, I love you. You ran that football. Where your wife at?"
Oh, because
that's how it is a lot. So people know you.
Media.
If you go and be like, "Oh, I'm Maria Cribs," they'll be like, "Oh yeah, come on,
and
homegirl."
why do people think I'm so mean to you?
Well,
you get your fans in my comments trying to defend you. I'm like, this is my Instagram.
Yeah, they be coming in
y'all
like,
see what happened to
stop treating Josh so bad.
Y'all see what happened to Francis President. Don't think I won't.
Yeah, see, I seen that. Did you see that clip?
Right. I did see that.
I thought that was just regular marriage.
No, we're going to talk about it later, John. We're going to talk about it later. Look, you guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Fairway Ford, the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, the lowest pricing, and same hometown level of service. Visit fairwayfordohio.com today.
Welcome back to the show. Now, this segment right here is brought to you by our friends over at Pure AV. Now, Pure AV specializes in sales, service, and installation of a variety of smart home technologies. They do it all. When I say they do it all, they really do it all. They can help you get the perfect sports watching setup with their high-performance audio and video displays. They even offer hidden audio and video options that allow you to keep clean. Like, you hear that? You hear that? They allow you to keep a clean, elegant interior without sacrificing your favorite technology. Now, Pure AV can set you up with invisible architectural speakers that are hidden in your walls and your ceilings, as well as disappearing TVs that vanish behind art or mirrors. Visit pureavcorp.com today to see everything they have to offer for your home. Josh?
Yeah.
Okay, so Josh got a call. Ring, ring, ring. I ain't gonna say who was from. You had to do some things today.
Yeah.
But you delayed us 2 hours, though. For the NFL Network?
I apologize. But they were delayed.
Okay.
So the premise is it's a show that is led by Peyton Manning.
Well, hold on. Can you talk about it? Is it?
Yeah.
You didn't sign no paperwork, did you? You sure? No NDAs or nothing like that?
Nope. No NDAs, no nothing.
Oh, okay. Just double check.
So you're hearing it here, and people probably already know of it.
Oh, okay.
So it's a show on NFL Network, and basically it's Peyton Manning and James Harrison.
You was with them today?
Yes.
They in town?
They're in Cleveland,
What?
and they're going around picking up alumni.
Oh.
Browns alumni. So we got in the taxi cab, 1950 taxi cab.
From the 1950s?
1950 taxi
old,
cab.
like with the
old,
curved top?
Yes.
A classic?
Classic. Got in that bad boy, and we was talking football. Browns trivia, and then...
you win some money? Let me see your pockets, Josh.
No money.
Nope.
No money. I was offered James Harrison. I was offered Harrison's jersey, but since it's a Pittsburgh jersey, I declined and said I'll just get the Kent State jersey.
You go hot tour.
Yeah. Yeah. It just the two colors can't be combined in my household.
No,
I just would not allow it.
The black and yellow. Even though
not in the household.
Remember last year I almost flipped on y'all.
Yeah, but not to them. I flip and be a Commanders fan back where I'm from, but before I ever go to in our division. But anyway, had a lot of fun.
Okay.
First, they had to break us up because we was catching up too long.
Oh yeah.
Me and Peyton was talking about Pro Bowl back in the day and him getting all serious at halftime.
I remember that.
And he basically was like this, Ryan. At halftime, we were losing. And he was making he had an announcement for everybody. And, it's a jolly, Pro Bowl game, doesn't matter. But he was like, man, stop joking around. Like a lot of players came down here and they spent a lot of money. And guess what? I was one of them.
Yeah.
And they want to win this game. So if y'all ain't got nothing constructive to help win this game, y'all get out of here. Coaches, if you don't feel like coaching, y'all get out of here. Players, y'all got any suggestions? And I was like, I'm one of them guys that spend a lot of money for my family to come to Hawaii. I'm like,
if we just do this and maybe catch the route over here,
they're in a lot of cover too. Basic, the middle's wide open. He was like, Josh, great job. And lo and behold, came out third quarter. He wasn't a quarterback, but I got hit over the middle and ran for a long time too. Yeah, I was gassed.
Right.
I wasn't training for the Pro Bowl, but I was gassed.
He's competitive. He
wasn't. But we was just reminiscing the whole time, and then James Harrison.
How are they on TV? Now, I've been seeing James Harrison on a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, I hope this makes the cut.
Wait a minute.
I told him, Ryan, that Maria hates him for knocking me out.
And he need to know
that. A concussion.
He need to know that.
I was like, my wife still hates you. She hates that I'm friends with you.
And what he had to say?
They laughed. They laughed. Because it's in a game of football. Like, his job was to knock us out.
No, it's not your job to knock people out.
That's a linebacker's job. Not to play dirty.
This is news to me.
Not to play dirty, but to knock you out. Hit you as hard as they can.
Somebody in a way to knock them out.
Hit them as hard as they can.
Unless he say, Korea's got a soft chin.
Nope. His job was to hit me as hard, and he was talking about that.
You told him I hate him?
I told him that. Yeah, I told him that you hated that I'm still friends with him. And they laugh like crazy. I'm like, she don't appreciate you knocking.
He thought it was funny. I
said, Maria,
they right down the street. They still here?
Does not appreciate. Yeah, they're still in town filming. They picked up Hanford next. They had Bob Golick before that.
They did.
Yeah. So, but it's an awesome time, man. I got to catch up with the guys.
That's cool. When is it going to air? Do you know?
I don't know it's going to air. They're going to let me know. But it was a good experience.
How was their personality on camera?
Because
on TV you got to be extra. Peyton Manning, he be chilling.
Peyton Manning's natural. J-Bo, I call him J-Bo. But James, you got to warm him up. He's still linebacker material.
Okay.
He like, I got lines.
He's out there having a good time, right?
But he's
both
such
retired.
A cool man. Love the guy, man. Had a great, awesome career. I can't wait to see if he gets into the Hall of Fame.
You very forgiving because
unless
somebody knock me out.
You know how I ended someone's career before.
That cab would have been messed up. We would have been. You would have heard the car rumbling.
I ended somebody's career on the field before.
You what?
If you look at, I stiff armed somebody so bad, they got injured. They never returned.
What you mean, Josh? Why you do something like that?
See, it wasn't.
Stiff arm, you don't.
It wasn't love loss. It was one of the athletes that coached in the NFLPA. He was like, man, I was done after that. He reminded me. He was like, yeah, man, you lifted my cleats off the ground.
With your arm?
With my arm. He was like, and that was it for me. He was like, I told my ACL.
Was this in high school?
Nah.
Or college?
This is in NFL.
Oh, this is in the NFL.
NFL. He's playing with the Packers.
So he was already.
Matter of fact, if you Google me, the picture will probably come up. Oh. And I was stiff arming him. All you see is and his cleats came up off the ground. And I just kept going.
Okay, so hold on. He had to be on his way out anyway. Because ACL, you can heal from that.
I think he probably wanted a couple more years. Yeah, I think he wanted a couple more years in the league.
You walking around. That was me. What I'm saying is that's why it's so important to have some type of source like God in your life, because if that was me, you'd be walking around with a target on your back. I'm coming for you. You ain't gonna end my career with a stiff arm. But just like J-Bo, how you gonna be in the cab with J-Bo and not get a couple licks on him? Something. You was in the bag. You couldn't hit him in the back of the head.
His mom did it for him, and I told him.
I remember that.
in the tunnel after the game, his mom smacked him in the back of the head. Like, why you do that to Charles? And smacked him. I was like, uh-oh.
Grown man getting a whooping.
Yeah, I was like, uh-oh. But, that's his mama.
Get him, mama.
That's
right.
Mom Dukes.
That's right.
And then, we dapped
because even mom know you don't have to tackle in that way.
Because even he was like, man, you good, bro? You good?
I ain't good.
I'm good.
You should have your eyes crossed. Like, who are you? What a man. I'm feel real bad.
Who are you, Damo?
Guys, talk some Browns. What's going on with the Browns?
Dame
Should have started drooling and everything.
We were teammates. No.
Come on, what's going on with the Browns,
You bring out the worst in me.
I know.
Why are you? Oh my God!
Ryan, why you letting us do this, man? We gotta.
Hey, it's called the Crib Show, not the Ryan Show.
Come on, Josh. Talk about some Brown. What's going on with the team?
No, I mean.
Hey, put up that the David Njoku. Let me tell you guys. There's a celebrity softball game coming down in 2 weeks out in Eastlake. I asked Josh to send me a picture of the roster. He somehow sent me a picture himself, but they're gonna have.
Why you hating?
Only name I needed to see on there, and I love you, baby.
Oh, it ain't me? God, daggone it. I thought it was me.
You thought it was you?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to come with you.
It's Shador, ain't it?
They got Shador Sanders on the roster. I
Lord
said, baby, I need
mercy.
to be on the field. On the field.
She talking about how her mom and family going to be. I'm like, it ain't going to be that type of show.
We got a Sprinter van. So I feel like whoever I can fit.
Think it's going to be a busload of people.
Right, whoever I can fit in the Sprinter can get in.
There you go.
Lord have mercy.
I went to the website. They're going to have Joe Hayden. When I tell you, everybody comes out to support David Njoku, so pretty much all the players are going to be there. But I looked on the website, and the tickets are only like $20. So, and it supports a good cause too.
Right.
You want to talk Browns like when we get back?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, don't go anywhere, you guys. We'll be right back.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Pure AV, luxury home automation. Experience your dream smart home by visiting pureavcorp.com.
All right, you guys, welcome back to the Return Now. It's the time you all been waiting for. It's time to talk Browns, baby.
I don't think everybody been waiting for
Oh.
it. It ain't like we had a game that we had to prepare for. But
we can prepare for training camp.
Yeah, OTAs going on right now, and I just do we think Ryan? Do you think that is too much? That it'd be a lot of pressure on these quarterbacks to perform, because especially a guy like Shador Sanders and Dylan Gabriel, and I say that because there's so much media around Shador that I think, even though Dylan he gives the great answers to the media, I think he still feels like he can't miss a beat, because if he does, he knows he got a guy waiting to be perfect to take his spot.
I mean, it's difficult. Nerves are going to be there for sure, but this is their first opportunity. Obviously, they had rookie mini camp, so this is their first time throwing in front of these coaches in Berea. But now it's more pressure because you're adding in Joe Flacco, you're adding in Kenny Pickett, you're adding in guys. You're adding in a Super Bowl MVP, by the way. Kenny Pickett, yes, his career hasn't gone by the way he wanted to. Of course not. He's on his third team now. But that's still a guy who's taken NFL reps. He was just with the Eagles. So but actually, both of these guys are Super Bowl champions. You got 2 Super Bowl champions, as funny as that sounds in Kenny Pickett's aspect, and then 2 rookies. Yeah, if you're
Don't say that.
But if you're Dylan Gabriel, I got to imagine it's stressful, because one, you were drafted higher. You're expected to be able to take that starting role before Shador Sanders. But it does come to it. Like you see the picture in rookie minicamp, they're all together, and Quinshawn and Dylan Sampson, they're throwing up the wrist.
Right.
Like it seems like they're all behind Shador. But Dylan Gabriel and Shador, they've both been very good in answering. Like, you try to divide us, but we are one quarterback room. Obviously, we have our work cut out for us, and we want to succeed. We want the starting job and to prove we belong in the NFL. And it is interesting. I'm not sure I've ever seen or remember another time like this where he drafted a guy in the 3rd round, but he's nowhere near the spotlight. In fact, it's the guy that's drafted 2 rounds later than you, and Shador Sanders, who is the talk of the town, and is the reason, don't get it wrong, why the Browns have been pretty prevalent in the national media so far throughout this offseason. If you didn't have Shador Sanders in that quarterback room, it'd be a much different topic.
You're leading me into my next question. Does it make it difficult? And I'm going to give you my 2 cents, but I want you to keep on. You on a roll. Does it make it difficult to possibly release a guy like Shador Sanders? Not with calls. He's just a 5th quarterback. Okay, without Deshaun, the 4th quarterback on the roster. Teams don't keep 4 quarterbacks.
If it happens, I'm telling you,
you usually
I'm
have
done.
2 active.
I'll be done.
And 1 on practice squad who can get called up like last season. Does it make it more difficult for the Browns to possibly release him? And I say this because he's not going to get a lot of reps. So even if and I told people the NFL is not fair. I was with guys that caught every ball, that made tremendous, outstanding, acrobatic catches, still did not make the team. does it make it difficult for the team to release him with all the media coverage, with all the attention around him, and his value?
I'd like to say no, and the answer should be no, because if you took the name Sanders out of it, he's a 5th-round quarterback, and most 5th-rounders, let alone quarterback, they don't usually make the team. Like, that's not a common thing for 5th, 6th, 7th-rounders to make the team. Like, that was a dart throw, and if you took the name Sanders out of it, we'd be having a much different discussion of, okay, well, Dillon Gabriel, he's the guy we're all watching because he was the one they selected and identified to be that guy. Now, will it make it more difficult to release him if he's playing bad? I don't know the answer to that because I'm not in that front office, but I would like to assume that they know it's a business. Like, is the money one thing? I'm sure Shedeur is already the number one rookie selling jersey, which is absolutely nuts to think about a 5th-rounder, but this is something unprecedented that we've seen.
Right.
Just the name and the fall that Shedeur Sanders went through just in this last month. So I want to say no, it won't make it more difficult, and I don't think they'll factor that into their decision-making. At least they shouldn't.
Right. They shouldn't, but it's a business. Maria likes to throw that around as it relates to ticket sales and jersey
everything
sales.
Comes down to the end of the day.
That type of the business.
Very true.
And you keep saying he's not going to get any balls, but does everything have to be reps? I was saying you threw me off with the t-shirt, the panties, and all that stuff earlier. I was thinking about balls
Lord.
and all that stuff.
Oh,
no.
Lord.
So, but does
Stop
everything
it.
have to be so cookie cutter? I understand, like previously, we wouldn't give the 5th-rounder, as many reps, but things are a little different here.
Well, it's reps far as like they know who is going to play out the gate.
Okay.
So out the gate, I think they're going to be prepared for Kenny Pickett.
Okay.
Out the gate. So he'll get, out of 10 reps, 5. And then you got your second, who's Dillon Gabriel at this point, because they drafted him in the 3rd round. And then he'll get 4.
Oh, okay.
Or 3 if he has 3 good solid reps. And then there's only 2 reps before they switch and go scout that all will probably go to a split between Flacco and Shedeur, but Shedeur and Flacco will have, and it's crazy to say Flacco because I think he's too much of a super veteran to play scout team. I think more so Shedeur and Gabriel will have scout team reps when that happens as the season gets closer. But right now, when they're putting in and installing plays, out of 10 reps, they'll get 2. They'll split that too, 1 and 1. So it's not a lot of reps to go on when you got 4 quarterbacks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're trying to get a guy ready, and you're trying to get his backup ready. I think, does this make sense? If the Browns did this, Ryan and Maria, there's a few teams that need a quarterback. There's one right now that needs a quarterback, and we're talking about the Saints, right? Carr just retired out of the blue, right? Does it make sense? I want to say this. I want Shedeur to have success here. I love when the national media is on Cleveland. I just love it. I'm like, and then I want Cleveland to back it up. Does it make sense for them to preview him a little more, to make him have a little bit more value, to be able to trade him for more picks to go with next year's draft? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about trading?
Shedeur. And this is in preseason.
Yeah.
To preview him.
I mean,
for the Saints.
Yeah, if it's just it's hard to imagine the turnaround you get for Shedeur Sanders, even if he comes out in the preseason and balls out. Like, I remember we had this discussion with DTR. Like, he was the preseason darling, and you could have maybe got a round earlier than you picked him in return. That's a risk. I'm not sure the Browns are willing to take that risk, but like for what you're saying, it could make sense because you're out of Derek Carr. You have Tyler Shuck, who you just drafted, and you have Spencer Rattler, who you drafted the year before that. So they really want to bring in Shedeur Sanders and have a complete quarterback battle, and he'd probably have. I'm trying to imagine if he'd have a more shot to get that starting role right away in New Orleans. But it would be interesting given that the Saints, they could have drafted Shedeur very well. Instead, they went with Tyler Shuck. But it makes sense.
I just say that to be able to, a quarterback will make or break your team.
Absolutely.
Like, if Shuck isn't the answer, because now they have to really get him prepared, right? And with at least Carr, they had an opportunity to sit behind a vet.
Right.
If it's not Shedeur, could it be a Flacco?
Yeah.
Could it be a Kenny?
I think it'd be more likely to be a Flacco because you got your rookie in Tyler Shuck. You have a sophomore going into the sophomore season in Spencer Rattler. And rather than adding, a quarterback in Shedeur where it'd be a real battle, maybe you do bring in a guy like Joe Flacco, kind of like we did. You just bring in somebody to set course.
I want Flacco
to be a decent. Well, that's the thing. It's like you can only have so much.
Right. You only have so many people.
But I know where it seems like they're kind of sold on Kenny Pickett. Nothing against him. But I said this earlier and a few weeks ago, I just have something against on paper, us saying, yeah, man, we good. We got Kenny Pickett. Like no other team he been with the Super Bowl team. He wasn't even good enough for him to, be retained as a backup. So it's like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
If their main guys went down, they felt the need that this not the guy who we want running it, even if the main guy goes down. So I have problems with us as the Browns trying to be playoff Super Bowl ready with Kenny Pickett as our leading guy.
Yeah, it's just tough because it's like, I don't know if you can look at this season, and obviously the coaches aren't going to say this. They're going to operate as though they have a chance to go make noise in the playoffs. Like, that's how they're going to operate. It's just, I think the way they're looking, at least I would, is Joe Flacco, like, he's your, I guess, break in glass in case of emergency. He's not going to be the future. You've seen him at his highest, and you're not going to get him anywhere near that.
That's why I don't want him to be the guy that we trade possibly to the Saints. Because he's the break glass guy.
It's just
Flacco, not Kenny.
They got two rookies that they don't know what they have in him. You have Kenny Pickett, who you think you probably know what you have in him, and it's not enough, and it's the reason that you were able to get him here in Cleveland for such a cheap price tag on that trade. It's just maybe they feel that's our best situation is to have three guys that are completely fighting for their NFL life. So, like, obviously the rookies are just starting theirs, but Kenny Pickett still has something to give. He's still going to be competitive because he knows if he has this chance, he's going to use everything in his power to run with it, and he doesn't want to give the job to the rookie quarterback.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, who does? And if we come back in a year and Kenny Pickett wins 10 games, and I know that sounds so far-fetched, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but let's just say some Sam Darnold type, like nobody's going to complain. Everybody's going to be happy. They're not going to remember Dylan Gabriel drafted in the 3rd round ahead of Shador. If it's Shador that works, you're not going to remember he was drafted in the 5th round. All you're going to remember is that you found a franchise quarterback.
What happens? The Browns get Kirk Cousins. Do we still draft Dylan Gabriel?
Yeah, I think so. You weren't going to go out of that quarterback you weren't going to go out of that draft regardless.
So he just would have replaced Flacco, but they would have been a lot more money. That's why I'm saying that.
There would have been a lot more money. Yes.
I think it'd have been a different.
I still think they would have taken a quarterback eventually because, I mean, it's the same thing as an older guy coming off an Achilles tear, and he didn't look great. Like, he didn't look great at all. So I think they weren't willing to rest their laurels on him. Like, they were still going to draft a quarterback. No, what did they draft it to? I don't know. Maybe. It just, Shador fell so far, they felt it was too valuable to pass up again.
I'm putting you on a spot, and I know I'm kind of rapid fire with you. What player, he could be a veteran or a young guy, I'm not a guy that recently drafted, but what guy that's, in his 2nd year or a veteran on a team do you think needs to have an outbreak season, needs to step it up, or he should be gone, or we should consider him, old news?
For the Browns or in general?
Browns.
Well, this is a big year for Cedric Tillman. I mean, when you're looking at that,
you took my answer. That's not fair. I should have went. Yeah. So next time, remind me, Maria, to go first.
Also, I'll let you go, Cedric Tillman, though, because another one I'll go is Jerome Ford. There was a lot of thoughts that he would already maybe be gone. You drafted 2 running backs, like. He isn't going to be the featured guy. I think that's clear. You're going into next year, you'll have Judkins and Sampson on the roster for sure. And then I feel by the end of the year, they'll already be taking up the majority of the carries. I even wouldn't be surprised if Quinshawn week 1 leads the Browns in carries. Like, Jerome Ford just kind of seems like he's on his way out of here. Like,
right, absolutely.
So I
made him take a pay cut.
Yeah, I would say Jerome Ford, but I think Cedric Tillman is the right answer or the most obvious to that question.
So Maria, Jerome Ford, and there's nothing against him. He never materialized into RB1. Mm-hmm. So even when he was the starter, I felt like we were still, C minus at running back. Okay. C minus.
Okay.
And I say that because of speed, elusiveness, and he just wasn't the future guy. Mm-hmm. He wasn't. I don't think he was feature back material. I think we got it right with this.
Could he go somewhere and be, or
I don't think
is
so.
It? Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe with a team that has a high power passing offense.
Okay.
But not even there.
All right.
Because that high power passing offense is high power passing because they have a decent run game.
Okay.
They can just hand it off when, things aren't open, and they still can win from running the game like Patrick Mahomes and the boys in Kansas City and them. That's why they got Pacheco. And these teams that pass well, it's for a reason. They always have a running back that picks up the weight.
Right.
I just, as you look at our team, I said this last week. I think they're decent. And when I put that online, I said, when you look at our team, I posed that question to my followers, Ryan. When you look at our team, when you see our quarterbacks, we got a quarterback battle, and we got the receivers, Deontay, you got Judy, and you got Harold. What's Harold's last name? I forgot.
Fannin.
Fannin, right. Harold, and you got Njoku. I think it comes down to, and this was a consensus, Kevin Stefanski's coaching. and quarterback play. If that is firing on all cylinders, and we can get a resemblance of a line, like if our line protects, because remember we had issues protecting the quarterback last year.
Yeah.
Even with Watson, like a lot of times we would come in here and say, okay, Watson is missing some throws. He's been bad in the pocket, but god dang on it, we can't protect him either.
Right.
It was like, yeah, damned if we do, damned if we don't.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of the Achilles heels were, offensive line and quarterback play. A lot of people feel like if our quarterback play and Coach Kevin Stefanski is better, we have a legitimate shot. The crux of our season is really because we have one of the toughest schedules.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have no breaks.
Got our work cut out.
We have no breaks.
Right.
But we do have a break coming up.
Oh, we do. I like that. I like that. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Garage Beer. No bitterness, no frills, no IPA, just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com.
Welcome back to The Return. Now, Josh, I think it's time for us to talk about the slap that was heard around the world.
Uh-oh.
France's president. What's his name? Emmanuel? Is it Macron?
Macron?
Macron and his wife Brigitte.
Not macaroon.
Macron and his wife Brigitte.
France.
Ryan, are we able to play the video or not?
Why you ain't say Bridget?
Brigitte. Now look at this. Look at this. They on the plane.
Get you on my face.
And he's like, hello.
Josh, he claimed.
Get out of my face.
Ooh,
sucker.
And he looked. Oh, the camera.
Jive turkey. Hey, how you doing?
Josh, he claims they were joking around.
Nah, ain't no jokes.
Yeah, I called. Yeah,
say that to me.
Look at that.
I saw you look at her.
What happened, Josh?
Get out of my face, jive turkey.
Have you ever had someone embarrass you like that in public? Like, I feel like they might be a little comfortable. Maybe that's the staff. Maybe that's a flight. They're the staff that they're using. That might. That might be the staff.
What did you ask?
Josh,
what was your question?
Josh,
what was your question?
No way. Ain't no way. I
did you
was
ever
not
ask
his
somebody
first
embarrass
girl.
you like that in public? Nah, you ain't embarrassed like that in public.
Could you imagine? Okay, do you believe them? They were joking. Ryan, do you believe them? Yay or nay?
I don't know. I'm gonna say no. Like, that's a pretty convenient thing to say you were joking. Like, if you go look at the video again, like the slap, and then he comes back and then he tries it'd be like he's not smiling the whole time. It's once he sees the camera.
Yes.
So I don't think it was a joke. I think 100% he just got caught.
But you didn't.
And it was a two-hand too, like
right.
push.
Yeah.
Like, I saw you look at her.
Why is it gotta be a her? It could be something else.
I saw you look at him.
Not
Is that what you
I'm
saying?
just saying it don't have to be about no infinite
opportunity here.
I mean,
okay.
what could it be talking about?
But you didn't get the other video.
What video?
He tried to save face Ryan and Maria.
And hold her arm.
And hold her arm down.
Yeah,
he put out the arm like.
She said, I don't care about no camera.
He was like, he hit her. She hit him with like the Melania joint.
I wonder what happened.
Don't touch me.
So you're saying a woman only gets that upset when it's infidelity or something inappropriate?
No.
Okay, so why you saying, well, look at her?
Because all married people have been there. Not to the violence.
Yeah.
I don't think that was really violent. She smooched him. That wasn't the first time. That's not
Ryan,
the first time.
You ever been smooching
You
the
think
face?
the first time? That's the first time.
Ryan, hold on, Ryan.
Nah.
Ryan, you ain't never been smooched. Get your hand out of my pocket. Yeah,
Josh, that was
he's
too
a
much.
good actor, though.
Man,
he's a good actor.
that was too much. I don't know. I call cap. I don't think they were joking. You think they were joking?
No, what?
Absolutely
no,
not.
I don't
But he
think
claims they were joking. So okay.
I think it would be better, like, you know what? He has to say that because then it'll seem like she is domestically, physically abusing him.
And that's the thing too.
That's assault.
Domestic violence can happen. A woman can
if a man
assault a man as well.
You daggone right, Maria.
He's joking.
Woman can assault a man.
They can.
And it can be domestic abuse.
Right. But they were joking in that case.
Oh, let me straighten my mic back up.
Yeah.
Okay. But look, I think he was saving face for her.
Yeah, I mean, as he should. And I looked at some photos. They've been together a very long time.
Yeah,
I understand things get heated, and maybe they're used to that staff, so they're used to how they roll. But you wouldn't think someone would be conducting themselves like that outside.
He should have hit her
of
like
the
this,
home.
Ryan. Right.
What if he would have hit her back? We'd be talking about
No,
something.
I didn't say hit her back. Like the hands are coming. We need to put him in, give him some DB moves, some wide receiver releases. That's all.
Okay, in good marriage news though, and let's keep it real. Travis Hunter and his new wife, what's his name? Hold on, I've had her name down here.
Leanna
Lenie, I believe her name is. They got married, and I felt bad, as if my heart went out to them, because all the comments. Why can't they just live their lives?
They in the public eye, man. You gotta expect that.
No, it's hurtful at this point.
It is hurtful, but
they've been together almost 5 years, I believe. They tied the knot. I don't know. She might have a little baby bump, but I don't know. Might be a little baby bump in the butt. Okay, but I don't know. They look gorgeous. They look like they were having a great time. A lot of marriages end in divorce. So why is everybody so focused on? Oh, wait, just wait. It could be just wait for a lot of people, because it's like 73% of marriages end in divorce, I think, in the United States.
Nowadays, a lot of people not getting married.
Why can't we just wish them well?
I know.
I was happy for them.
Right. I don't know why people do that. I was happy.
I think her post, she put, we lived in 3 different states. So she's followed him everywhere. That's his girl. That's his woman. Now that's his wife. I feel like, all right, y'all gotta chill out now.
Yeah.
Let's wish them well.
Yeah.
Young love is already tough.
Yeah.
And he's having a great time.
Yeah, we gotta take another commercial break.
Another break?
Yeah.
All right, don't go anywhere. You guys will be right back.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Smart Choice Windows. Energy efficient products at an affordable price. Visit smartchoicewindows.com today.
Welcome back to The Return. Now, Josh, you got something you want to show our audience?
I was training. Every time I train and I go and work out myself, I have epiphanies. Working out for me has been real therapeutic.
Oh, those endorphins.
Yeah, and I start to think, about my football career and things like that. But it's real. I start having epiphanies when I'm getting done. All them endorphins are flying. And I made a video, and I got a word for athletes and parents. Check this out.
Athletes, are you doing more than what's required of you in your sport? Tell the truth. You should be training outside of your sport multiple times a week. You have to sacrifice what you want now for what you want most. You want to hang out with the fellas or the girls. Be lazy and sleep in. You got to sacrifice what you want now for what you want most. What do you want most? It's 2 types of pains that an athlete gets. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Oh, I could have went D1 if I would just train more, if my parents would have just stayed on me. But when you go out there and have that discipline, that fight, it translates to more than just sports. Parents, if you have to get your children up to train, if you have to remind them that they got practice, if you have to force them to put in more, that ain't it. I mean, it ain't it, man. You can say, oh, they need maturity, use every excuse in the book. But when they want to do something with their friends, they find a way, don't they? How you getting here? Oh, such and such gonna bring you? Or who bringing you back? Oh, okay, their parents gonna bring. They find a way when it's something they want to do. Parents, is it your dream or is it theirs? My math teacher told me it's a 0.01% chance for athletes from high school to go pro. I mean, these are just the numbers. These are the stats. And you at the mall every day. Don't say you want to be Shador. Don't say you want to be Cam Ward. Don't say you want to be them if I don't see you with that Shador type work ethic, that Cam Ward type work ethic. Today is an off day. I don't see you on the field. Athlete.
I don't think he was really up there working out, because you don't seem like you was winded at all. You had a lot of energy.
I was.
You probably just went up there just to film that video, right?
Where was the sweat?
All right.
I have finished. I had a sweat vest on, so it was.
Isn't that he works out in a sweat vest, Ryan? Isn't that what are you?
What?
I would be dehydrated
problem?
if I did that.
Yeah, I have water.
Okay.
In the vehicle.
But it was a good message. Go ahead and explain what you're talking about.
Well, because a lot of people want the fame. A lot of people want to go to the next level in any sport that they play. Volleyball, softball, baseball, basketball, football. You want to go to the next level. More than practice with your team is required of you to go to the next level. That's why on my post, and I post that on Instagram,
you already posted it?
I posted it earlier today.
Okay.
To go to the next level, you have to do more than what's required of you. It's just in today's sports, if you're not training outside of the actual sport to get better at the little things, you're not training for the next level. People will surpass you. Your talent in that sport needs to be procured outside of the sport. So that's a little tidbit. And then I put something in there for parents. Look, if you having to force your kid or having to do too much to try to, get your kid to do something and act on their good ability, that's not it. They may not have it. And I said it in the video. Parents, is it your dream or is it theirs?
But say you
That's
have
important.
a child that has so much potential.
Every parent
Because at
thinks
the end of the day,
that.
okay, Ryan.
Every parent thinks that they got so
Ryan,
much. My baby going to be the president.
They do. And some of them kids
My
be
baby
like,
going to be an
your
astronaut.
kid got 2 left feet. He is
Your kid
uncoordinated.
is
No, he's not.
Exactly.
But Ryan.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're still kids. So sometimes.
Well, I'm talking to mostly higher
you see a child
athletes.
that has potential, but they're kind of lazy or they want to play video games, doing things that kids would
They
usually
need to
do.
listen to that.
Is it wrong for a parent to be like, nah, here, I'm gonna still push you in that direction because I know what this could potentially get you. Not guaranteed at all.
I didn't say it was wrong.
Okay.
It's just a point. You can lead that horse to water.
Yeah.
You can show your children the path. As parents, all we are supposed to do is provide the space, provide the opportunity, the ride to the field, the ride to the practice, the ride to the training, maybe some extra training shoes, some money for cleats. They're supposed to, I need the money. Oh, here you go. I need to go train. All right, I'm on my way, so then I can drop you off at the field. Oh, I need it. They're supposed to, and I said this in a video too, when they got something planned and they want to go hang out or go play video games, or they got to ride to it, don't they? When they want to go do something.
Oh, when it's something that they really want to do, they find a way.
They find a way. It's like, who picking you up? Oh, they picking. Oh, okay.
They already in the driveway.
Yeah, they done made
money. I ain't got money, Mom. I was mowing some lawns last week.
Exactly. Oh, I found $10 in Dad's drawer. Huh?
Yeah, okay.
They find a way. So
sometimes you don't do what's good for you, what's best for you as a kid.
And as parents, we put them on track.
I personally wish my parents would have forced me to play sports or learn how to swim and things like that. I mean,
Ryan, she didn't feel like that.
I didn't know any better. I was the oldest child, huh? What'd you say?
She didn't feel like that, but until you became an adult. You don't know better until you become an adult.
That's what I'm saying. I wish I would have had an adult to push me. You know, and a lot of our parents were too busy working anyway.
So then it's the question.
What?
Would you'd have probably hated your mom to do that, but you'd have probably been great in sports. That's why some parents gotta choose. You can't be your children's friend. You going to be hated for a time. And then as they get older, they will understand the amount of work you put in for them. At the same time, if you're trying to play higher level sports, you got to put that. It's no way around it. You got to put that work in, and they have to want it for themselves.
For sure, they do. And I just
That's it. That was my message.
A little side note. I feel like my son Izzy is catching these subliminal shots that he's throwing.
This is not.
And let me just say this: no one wants to work out with Josh in our house. He turns into drill sergeant.
I didn't say nothing about working out with me.
He said, trying to work out with me? Absolutely not, Josh.
I didn't say it working out with me.
Oh,
they have to do train. It's not
Ryan. We cannot work out with Josh. We start arguing and fussing. He's trying to mush me in my face like
I'm
the
Joe
president,
Jackson.
like Bridget did.
I'm Joe Jackson. I'm Joe Jackson.
Why
I'm
are you like?
I'm Serena's dad.
So then, should you make it?
You heard me, Ryan. I'm Serena's dad.
I hear you.
Should you?
I might be a little Ike in there.
I'm not.
But
saying,
guess what? Guess what that got in common?
You might be a little
what
Brigitte.
they got in common?
Brigitte.
They gonna all be stars. Following this star.
I wish I had Joe Jackson as my father.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have been hosting an event, the awards last night.
There you go.
Go anywhere, you guys will be right back.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Infinity. Luxury experiences for those who dare to be different. Visit infinityofbeechwood.com today.
Welcome back to The Return. Now, Josh, I feel what you're saying, but just sometimes you don't know as a kid, and you need to be pushed into that direction. That's all I'm saying.
No, you're going to be pushed. Yeah. But at some point, you got to do it for yourself.
Why does your personality switch up when we're working out?
Because it's my craft. Like it's like I mean this. That's why I need to coach higher level.
We just getting a light workout. We're not training for the NFL.
That's why I need to coach higher level because it is a switch.
Yeah.
And when I'm doing this, I mean it.
But what about when it comes to Izzy, like catering your? Because he still is your son. I know it's hard to look at. Okay.
He can't differentiate.
You can't.
No.
Oh, he can't.
I can't.
It's always somebody else's fault but Josh.
Differentiate dad from coach. He sees me as dad. I hopped into coach mode. You ain't my son.
Ryan,
you the athlete.
I'd be like, no, stop talking to him like that.
A father is the only other man that's going to want him to do better than him.
Yeah.
Your father.
Then I get in trouble, Ryan.
Because she don't ever have
my back. If the workout
back.
don't go right, I get in trouble.
She don't ever have. She supposed to be like, yeah, listen to your father. I'm like, see?
You know I need to have my back in my house. Ryan, play the video real quick. I need Bambi to have my back. Look at Bambi fighting. Look.
Oh, my.
Josh, I thought that was a dog.
Hand me that rifle.
Bambi was fighting. Bambi was attacking a woman, and everybody in the comments said whatever Bambi said that woman did, she did. Yes, look at that.
That woman need to go out there and train.
Look, he said I would have. What did he say, Ryan? I can't even read it.
He said, "I'm not do it again."
Yeah, I don't know why she pulled up on me in the first place. Josh.
Oh my God. Hey, yeah, that's the truth.
Guys, just a little something to make you laugh. How much time we got left?
20
Ryan?
seconds.
20 seconds.
Train.
Hey, I got
Go
my
train.
I got my calves. We almost made it, baby. We was in the playoffs this year, baby.
Yeah, the Guardians are up. Yeah, the Guardians are up.
They had a game the other night, and I heard some girls talking about they were going. I was like, I wish I had friends like that. Just randomly say, "Want to
You
go
want
to
to
a
go to the
Guardian?"
game?
Yeah.
We can go to the game.
All right, you guys. Look, we love you so much for watching. Thank you for watching the return, and we'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day, you guys.
Peace.